10XL, 92.5 FM.
Bizarre Tuesday. My goodness, all sorts of things happening, some of which directly or indirectly affect the Jaguars. It all depends on how you look at it. We'll get to the NFL in just a moment. A big day in the AFC South as far as comings and goings, but the state of Oklahoma, my goodness, it's all over for Mike Gundy. Shouldn't be surprised. He's been on that hot seat. We've been talking to Rafael Esparza about it. He joins us on Thursdays. And, you know, after Vatek and UCLA made moves, it's been on Napier and it's been on Gundy. Mike Gundy gone. Excuse me, losing to Tulsa 19-12. That was basically it. And, you know, he popped off about Oregon 2 weeks ago, then just got shelled. He's lost the program. 21 years at Oklahoma State, the only coach currently right now in collegiate football with more years at the same school as Kirk Ferentz at Iowa. That's it. Mike Gundy, 170-90, with a program that's, you know, let's be honest, kind of a runt program, right? Kind of the, I don't know, the last one picked if there's a street game going on. It's an Oklahoma town. And you got infiltration with Texas and used to have the great Oklahoma-Nebraska matchups, which, frankly, I still miss. That should be part of college football lore, if you do ask me. So Mike Gundy is out, certainly did so many things in Stillwater, both as a player, as an assistant coach, and a head coach. But the writing was on the wall. 170-90, Mike Gundy out at Oak State. Okay. John Mateer out at Oklahoma. Where did this come from? A broken bone in his right hand, so he's going to have surgery on it. They have a bye and a cupcake, but it looks like, you know, the Red River rivalry, he will not be available for that. I think Oklahoma will absolutely, that will come into consideration when you look at the 12-team playoff, even if you lose a game. I mean, after all, the College Football Playoff Committee, they are going to consider injuries, right? I mean, didn't they do that to Jordan Travis in Florida State a couple of years ago? Didn't they say you're undefeated and doesn't matter, you're injured, it's over? With John Mateer here, if Oklahoma was to lose a football game, isn't this same committee going to say, you know what, their star quarterback was out, he's back now. This is a totally different football team. Oh, yeah. It's going to happen right in front of our eyes. But it's a big blow. He's right out there, top three, as far as where the odds sit as a, Heisman Trophy candidate. I'm a longtime Heisman Trophy voter. Certainly, I've watched what John Mateer has done. Some interesting competition that Oklahoma has had as of late, you know, taking on Michigan and beating them, taking on Auburn and a former Oklahoma quarterback in Jackson Arnold. But this is a big blow for OU. Hopefully he's able to return sooner than later. Then you go to the AFC South. And, you know, I always knew from what people have said that C.J. Gardner's a bad guy. Okay? He's just a bad guy. But I didn't think he was a bad teammate. There's a difference there. I actually like bad guys playing football. I wish Jacksonville had one or two questionable character type of players on this team. They really don't. They're all well-behaved. They all love the game of football. They all are intangibly rich, and damn it, it's working. They're one referee bad call away from being 3-0. You can't question it. But I'd like a dog. I would. I think it's good, especially on defense or on the offensive line. That has always been the case with C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I just didn't know he was a bad teammate as well. He has not been able to handle the defense of DeMeco Ryans. He's been out of play several times. You even go to the game-breaking 46-yarder that Trevor hit Brian Thomas Jr. with late on Sunday, Gardner Johnson got really sucked in on a much shorter route by Parker Washington. So he's out. And all of a sudden, Houston's 0-3. And, this is a good football player. There's no doubt about it. I mean, this is a guy that's probably sitting back right now waiting for, maybe Philadelphia. Philadelphia's been known to bring back players. Fred Johnson actually got involved in the ball game over the weekend for the Eagles. Of course, he showed up here. He looked lazy, looked fat and out of shape, looked disinterested. You move him back over to Philadelphia, you did some good things. I wouldn't be shocked if C.J. Gardner-Johnson ends up there, but who knows? But anyway, big blow today in the AFC South for Houston. They just cut bait. I mean, to me, this is like this is like a Leonard Fournette move. Leonard Fournette gave you more than 1,700 yards from the line of scrimmage. 1,700. I don't think anyone's come close to 1,700 since then. We'll have to actually check. See if you can look up the first 2 years for ETN there, please, Dylan, because he went over 1,000 yards receiving. I'm wondering if he got close to 500 yards receiving. Still, Leonard Fournette, 1,700 yards for the line of scrimmage, and they couldn't even get a bag of balls for him. They just said, see you, because they knew it was going to be a losing season. Leonard Fournette was a bad teammate. Okay? I mean, you didn't know with Leonard Fournette if Jacksonville had won 30-0 or if Jacksonville lost 30-0. He got fined every week because he refused to wear a tie on the team plane. He was a bad teammate. I guess that's what we're learning now about C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Okay, also in the AFC South today, Tennessee, another 0-3 team. Brian Callahan says, that's it, I'm out. Press Taylor, where are you? Oh, no, it's going to be Bo Hardigree, the quarterback coach, who's now going to call plays in Tennessee. Old friend here in town, Nick Holes. I mean, where were you when Nick Holes was the passing game coordinator of the upstart 2023 Jacksonville Jaguars? He's still the coordinator in Tennessee, but it's very similar to the coordinator here with Grant Udinski in Jacksonville, where, yeah, that's their job title. That is their responsibility, but they're not calling plays. As we know, Liam Cohen's doing it here, but it's no longer Brian Callahan who is doing that in Tennessee. So what a day there throughout the AFC South, and it's only Tuesday. We have yet another benching in the NFL. Russell Wilson out, and we'll get an opportunity now to see what Jackson Dart is all about. Certainly he was very entertaining during his career at Mississippi. If you watched the game the other night, they brought him in a few times, primarily to run the football. The New York Giants fans have had it with Russell Wilson. They booed him throughout, so no surprise here. Dart will get the opportunity now to become the next quarterback. So unofficially, I have, out of 32 teams, I have 6 quarterback changes. The late John Clayton was the greatest at ranking and recording and using that data when it came to quarterbacks. I mean, I used to love having John on, and I could be asking him about pressures coming off the edge, and somehow towards the end of that conversation, John Clayton would let us all know who has the most quarterback starts, what team, and everything. And I just loved that. I miss him. John Clayton was great, formerly of ESPN. Then he was actually one of the few guys in the NFL who, on the Seattle Seahawks radio network, did the opposing team's sideline. So I got up with John a couple of times as well on the Jaguars sideline back, unfortunately, before he did pass. So that happened again today. This time it is with Jackson. Oh, my gosh. Speaking of passing, man, Rudy Johnson, what is going on? And there's all sorts of reports out there. I don't know if, how do I want to say this? If the mainstream media has gotten to this or not. I've seen some other things. And, I hate this now. I do. It's like everyone's having fun. Everyone's trying their tomfoolery. But whether it's press conferences, whether it's sound bites, or even things that are written, like I read a story today about Deion Sanders saying that the Jaguars are not using Travis Hunter the right way. And I'm not even going to bring it up, okay, because I don't know if it's true or not. There's so much fake news And again, I really got fooled a couple of weeks ago when Jerry Jones, they had, him as a press conference going on and on and on about Micah Parsons and him being a cancer in the locker room. And I'm like, that's fake. So, I mean, this is just, I guess people have nothing else to do in their life. I mean, I would recommend maybe find a girlfriend or something, but they just throw out this news that's not true. But on Rudy Johnson, 45 years of age, man. Remember him at Auburn? Remember him at Cincinnati? And again, I have seen some things, but I want to make sure I confirm it until I throw it on out there. But he has gone way, way too soon at the age of 45. But I saw that today. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. If it just feels like it's daily. Over the weekend, kind of lost in everything that was football. At the age of 80, Bernie Perrant died. We just lost Ken Dryden like a month ago. So you're talking about the two greatest goaltenders in the 1970s are gone. Now, Ken Dryden was in a class by himself, but you can put Bernie Perrant right there with Jerry Cheevers and Tony Esposito and Andy Jacquemin and Rogie Vachon, and some of the great goaltenders of that era. And Bernie died at 80, but boy, man. Rudy Johnson, only 45 years of age. You able to dig up any of those numbers on ETM?
ETM was just shy of 1,500 yards in both 2022 and 2023.
Okay. Imagine having 1,700 yards in the line of scrimmage and they just said goodbye to you.
Yeah, peace out.
They just said bye. I mean, that's
not even a trade.
That's what Jacksonville did. But again, Leonard Fournette was a bad teammate. All right, and I understood why they did it. James Robinson emerged, and Marone and Caldwell knew that they weren't going to win games. And it's one thing to win. It's another to lose, and then at least act as if you're bothered when you lose. That's what really set me off a year ago. Last year's team accepted losing. Last year's team was not bothered when they lost. That was Leonard Fournette to a T. And you see how angry they were after losing in Cincinnati. I was there. I saw the eyes of Liam Cohen. I went into the locker room. I saw the press. You saw the elation in the victory 2 days ago. You saw Baselli and Gladstone in the tunnel. It's viral. Meet with Cohen. You heard Cohen's speech. I mean, you haven't gotten a lot of that around here lately. I mean, didn't that win feel different from other wins over the past decade? To me, it absolutely did. At least that's my opinion on it. And, hey, obviously that is a good thing. Speaking of good things, we're here for you. The good folks at Seminoles Vision, they always want to give you the most for your money, okay? They're not going to sell you technology that does not provide you any benefit when it comes to your eyes. We're in a time where you have such advanced technology and gadgets, what have you. What does that do? Well, it adds on to the price. Some may need it. The good folks at Seminoles Vision, they have all that technology, but you may not need it. And again, the primary responsibility of them is to care for you and also give you the most value for your money. So set up an appointment today. Go in and get an eye examination, and then you may consider laser eye surgery. How cool would that be for the rest of your life? 2020, huh? You may be a candidate for it. And if so, 37 years worth of experience, Dr. Neil Seminoles, Dr. Catherine Seminoles, Dr. John Hunt. You can also check them out by going to Instagram. Look for all of the testimonials out there. And, of course, just log on and go to Seminoles Vision. All right, let's get to Jaguars talk. Let's bring in the former Jaguars running back coach, Gerald Ingram. Let's get into the big win a couple of days ago against Houston. And why not? Can they keep this thing rolling on the West Coast? We'll talk about San Francisco as well. He's still in Denmark. I'm Rick Ballou. We call this Into the Night.
Get hit by the man in the back, Tommy Mack.
I'm bringing you straight to the gridiron to show you what it's like to put on the Jags helmet and pads.
Fridays on Jaguars Today. Unlocked by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
I'm Frank Frangie. Now, I've been telling you about my daughter Amber's journey with Awaken 180. Well, ready for this? She has now lost 60 pounds. That number's real, 60 pounds, in a little over 3 months. And here's the thing, she loves doing it. She just went on a trip to Tampa to see a concert, sort of a road trip. And I asked her, was it hard to stay on the diet? She said, Dad, that's just it. It's not a diet. It's a lifestyle change, and it's sustainable. And it's sustainable even when you're on the road. She is so excited. It has not changed her life. I think that's the best thing. It's a lifestyle change, but it doesn't ruin your life. She's loving her life, and she's so excited that she's been able to lose all that weight. You can do the same thing. You can kickstart your transformation. Call 844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com. It's working for Amber, and she's so excited, and I promise you it can work for you. 844-346-1800 or awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey, Duval, here's your chance to be face-to-face with the Jags as they take the field on game day. Jump in the shadows and experience the Jaguars like never before. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows for your chance to be part of the action. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C., 18 and older. Entry periods for the sweepstakes are from 8/4/25 to 12/21/25. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank, N.A. member FDIC.
It's a magical phone line.
Check this out.
It brings you things you can't get anywhere else, like insider insight from sports experts. Listen for the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Check.
Every day on 1010XL.
With 50 years of fabrication expertise and towing products, the family at Cannons of Jacksonville can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars. Make them your AC partner. With honest cost estimates before they start the work with no hidden fees. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
Say goodbye to glasses and contacts with customized vision treatments at Bowden Eye & Associates. Hey, Hicken here. Dr. Bowden and his expert team bring you all the latest options like Evo implantable Caliber lenses, refractive lens exchange, or traditional LASIK. Tailored just for you. Imagine waking up to clear vision. No hassle, no fuss. You ready to see the difference? Call now or visit BowdenEye.com for a free screening. Bowden Eye & Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
At the First Coast YMCA, you'll find much more than just a gym. We offer many ways to help you become more active, reach your weight loss goals, and find your inner strength. Membership at the Y includes state-of-the-art facilities, a huge variety of fitness classes, and programs for all ages. It's easy to join the Y since it's affordable for all incomes. The Y is a great place to make connections and experience something new. Visit the YMCA near you or online at fcymca.org.
Beaches Jewelry and Pawn is celebrating 30 years with a huge new and used firearm sale all September. It's the perfect time to save during Florida's Second Amendment sales tax holiday. Zero sales tax on firearms at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about letting things roll off of your back. So often we can make big deals out of things that are not really big deals. We can allow them to steal the joy of our day. But let me remind you that don't allow anyone or anything to steal the joy of today. Go out today not letting little things steal the big things that God has in store for you.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Coach Gerald Ingram will join us in 1 minute. Tonight's show brought to you by the good folks over at Alexander Law Practice. Rick Alexander, all right? More than 30 years in this profession. If you have been injured, a personal injury, especially if it has happened out on the road, your car, your truck, you may feel alone right now. Your car may be totaled. You may not be able to get to work. You may have broken bones. It just goes on and on and on and on. That's why you need to ask questions. Rick Alexander is going to give you the individual attention that you deserve. And he's old school, okay? He's involved with each and every one of his cases, all right? Each and every one of his clients. And he's been actively involved in this ever since he took over his own firm. going back to 2010. He likes to get to know his clients. So, again, you may be alone at this particular time. You may be thinking, there's nowhere that I can turn to. Well, when you go to Alexander Law Practice, you're going to get immediate call back, and you're going to get the individualized attention that you deserve, okay? 400-6600, free call, free consultation, or go to alexanderlawpractice.com.
Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece.
And that great guest is Gerald Ingram. You hear him here on 1010XL and 92.5 quite a bit, including as a analyst on the fifth quarter. Gerald, always a pleasure. Thanks for a few minutes of your time.
Always great to talk with you, Rick.
Yeah, it's 2-1 and one bad call away in Cincinnati from being 3-0 for the Jaguars.
Yes, it's a great. Hey, it was a phenomenal win to get that monkey off her back and finding a way to win. So that was one lesson, and now let's find a way to win on the road.
The Brian Thomas Jr. situation, he came up huge with the 46-yarder, and it led directly to the ETN touchdown. But what is that like to be an offensive coach like yourself, a former running backs coach, and to see such a talented, skill position guy go through the struggles that he has, not only in 3 games, but really since camp began in late July?
Yeah, I know we were standing there together, and I can't remember if I was talking to you or someone else. You know, I just didn't see the same, energy out of the guy in camp. It looked like there were some frustrations, but something just looked different about the kid. Especially, coming off a phenomenal year that he had, you'd think he'd strut with a lot more confidence and, being the example setter of a Pro Bowl player being on the team. But there was just something different. And I think it's just kind of snowballed itself into the season. And now he's got to find himself and gain the confidence back because he knows he can play better than that and what's acceptable. And now all of a sudden it became contagious and everybody started to panic and forget what it's like to actually catch a ball and all the fundamentals, just basic fundamentals of catching a ball, catch, tuck, and, and turn. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you do it over and over again and you take it for granted that the ball's in your hands and you're thinking about turning up the field without looking the ball all the way in. So, hat goes off to Strange that he's doing what's proper and he's been consistent, knock on wood. But as a coach, you got to address the whole team that, who's next? It's got to end. You don't want to be an elite team. You want to win. You want to do everything that's necessary to put you in position. And Liam's putting him in position to win. From what we're seeing, the quarterback's throwing the ball better on timing. The accuracy's got to change, and he's got to hit the necessary balls that are out there for touchdowns.
Mm-hmm. It's an interesting point. Now, do you just keep it as is with Brian Thomas Jr. and believe that he gets back to the way he once was, or do you, change things around and try to use him in a different way, use him correctly? I mean, do you eliminate the middle of the field where he's looked scared?
Well, I think there's 2 things on that. You don't want to totally take everything away from him, which he did. I think Liam did last week, and he put Parker in that situation, and Parker ran the route better. Mm-hmm. And, as a route runner, and I think, Jimmy would tell you, or especially Keenan McCardle, because Keenan was such a great route runner.
Right.
When you respond off of what the defense does, you got to know when and how to settle into holes versus zone coverage. And you got to learn how to give the quarterback the proper attitude on a trigger where to throw the ball. If I don't see your numbers, you're going inside, I'm going to lead you. That's just fundamental.
Yeah.
But if you bring your numbers back to me because all of a sudden the middle field looks closed and I can't run an in route in there, you hook it up. I mean, that's just how you either coach it, you react to it, and, the good players understand how not to get the head knocked off by running a better route.
Yeah.
So I think in the teacher in Liam probably showed that tape to him and say, hey, the more time you two spend with each other, you'll learn how to react and make that a more comfortable situation for both. Because it's 3rd and long and he wants to get the first down. And he sees the hole there and he's like, but you're giving me an attitude to lead you. So, I think that just comes with time and teaching, and, they'll get better at doing both, catching a ball and running better routes.
He is a Michigan Wolverine. He came here in 95 with Tom Coughlin as the running backs coach, followed Tom to New York and won a couple of Super Bowl rings. Gerald Ingram is our guest. It was rumored last week out of Houston that D'Amico Ryans was going to cheat a little bit because of the undersized interior defensive line. They hadn't played well. He did it, man. Whenever Jacksonville went to 2 tight end sets, 5-man fronts, and 6 carries, 11 yards, they couldn't do anything in the first half. How rewarding is it, Gerald, that they made halftime adjustments and ran it for 75 yards in the second half?
It was good. That's coaching. They went into halftime, they made the adjustment. Sometimes you're able to make that adjustment in the second quarter. And what happens is when you don't have a fullback and you're in a one-back offense and they go to a 5 down, you got to go to some kind of pass. Because for the most part, if you don't have a lead back, you can't run a fundamental versus the Bear defense, a G-lead scheme, G-boss scheme, or a lead scheme. Okay? So you're forced to basically run with 5 down. Throw with 5 down. So that takes the run away. Mm-hmm. But they figured out what down and distance or the substitution on the field. So that's why the quarterback made a great check, when he had to. And they had the runs that they had called, they were forced to have to check out in the first half. So right. I think they figured out the down and distance, or when the personnel came on the field, that we could either lead the run on and do what we do, or we got to get to a pass situation.
Yeah, interesting. Top 5 in points allowed, 17 a game defensively. Top 5 in rushing yards allowed defensively. 44 pressures, which is 9th in pro football, Gerald, but only 6 sacks. Is this? How do you explain that, and is that a concern moving forward?
I don't think it's a concern because the way the defensive ends have been playing, they've been putting linemen in the quarterback's lap, which creates pressures on the quarterback to get the ball out of his hands. So, and it's a testimony. Allen has played every single play hard, mm-hmm. and that's got to feed off, the other defensive players out there. That that's leadership by example.
Right.
And sometimes if you bull rush to bring a guy into the quarterback's lap, well, you're not going to get sacks because you're bull rushing and you're just demoralizing the player mm-hmm. into the quarterback's lap. Now, where you're going to get the pure saps is when he's able to get low, get underneath, and beat him on a snap.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to be able to, right now, he's kind of got those offensive linemen kind of thrown off. Sometimes he's rushing hard up the field. Sometimes he's working back underneath and doing a stunt. And then all of a sudden now he tacks right into their chest. Whatever it takes to get something done to get the quarterback to do something.
Yeah.
And I think he's played well doing that.
Gerald, leave us with this. We know San Francisco's really beaten up, both on offense and defense. We don't know who the quarterback is on this Tuesday. How does Jacksonville win Sunday in San Francisco?
Well, the first thing is this week in practice is the mental aspect, of winning, trying to find a way to win on the road, and doing everything that they can to focus on, one thing. The first thing is the plane flight is long and it's a later game. The time change and those kind of things. So you got to feed that into their head. And, remember where they are today. They went to Cincinnati, but they didn't have time change. Okay? You just got to block that out, but you have to address it. What are we going to do that's routine that we always do, and everybody's been trying to do their job on defense and find a way to win and make a play. No matter if it's not perfect, right now they're just playing gritty, and they're playing for each other out there to make it happen. So, I put it on the defense as much as anything as far as being aggressive, calm the fans down by their defensive play. You know what I mean? So we get the noise out. Mm-hmm. Eliminate the noise and the crowd and everything else because they can't do what they normally do at home.
Yeah.
And now the offense, he's structurally just fundamentally find ways not to hurt ourselves, because that's what we've done in each game. No one has really stopped us for the most part than ourselves in most cases, you know, and play off that. We play better when we have rhythm. So, you know, to be able to continue to run the ball and throw the ball, have the rhythm, quarterback, find a way to just, you know, when you have those opportunities in coverage and Liam matches the coverage, you got to win on them. Okay? That's what takes you from being who you are as a quarterback to being an elite quarterback. Okay?
Yep.
So you haven't arrived yet. You haven't arrived yet in doing that. You know, that connection with you and your receivers, and know, hey, the ball can't be too short one time and too long another time. You know, you got to make those plays. That's what the Bradys did. That's what the Mannings did. You know, you got to carry through that. And when the opportunities are there, you only get so many. So, you know, if they're able to do that, this is a winnable game. It really is. You look at the Cardinals game and you look at our game, statistically, it looks the same. You know, even on, you know, when you're watching it, other than the Cardinals quarterback was able to run,
right,
you know, and dodge, and, you know, that's where they got their rushing yards.
Yeah.
But there wasn't a lot of rushing yards. And you got to stop there, and we have to stop their running back. You know, they're hurt at receiver. They got one legitimate receiver, you know, right now, but they have always had a plethora of tight ends, even though, you know, skill's not out there. But, you know, if they can handle the tight end, and I think our secondary can handle the receiver, you know, but if we can handle Christian, he's the best complete running back in the NFL right now. Mm-hmm. You know, he can run between the tackles, run outside, he can run in space, he can go to the house. He can do a lot of things, run and pass. So if you can stop him, you know, in situations that he doesn't become their constant playmaker to go to, because you know they are.
Yeah.
Okay? We have a winnable shot. I think the way our defense has been confusing quarterbacks will be great, because you don't know each one of those quarterbacks going to play. And both of them really aren't playing 100%.
Yeah, that's a
I
fair
don't care
point.
which one
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay?
Yeah.
But you pressure them, I think we'll be fine. If we don't hurt ourselves, you know, okay, and people continue to make plays, okay, and they believe and buy into it this week that this is a business trip to hit somebody in the mouth, they got a chance to win.
Ladies and gentlemen, he played fullback for Bo Schembechler at Michigan. He is now part of our family on 92.5 FM, including during the fifth quarter after Jaguars games. He is Gerald Ingram. Always a pleasure, sir. Thank you.
Love talking ball with you, buddy.
There he goes, Gerald Ingram. Great stuff, man. Knows the game. Love it. And we have a good time every time he is on. All right, we got a lot to do. 641-1010 text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. You want to comment on anything you heard Gerald Ingram say? Also, let's welcome those. It's kind of a feisty crowd again tonight on YouTube. 1010XL into the night.
Now, the Randy Marion Cadillac Drive of the Game. Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville. Drive to the game in luxury with Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.
With the score tied, it was time for the good guys to make a final push towards a W while in regulation. Trevor Lawrence led the Young Guns on a 7-play, 83-yard drive, capped off by a Travis Etienne score, giving the Teal and Black a 17-10 advantage in the final period. The 1-minute, 59-second drive is your Randy Marion Cadillac Drive of the Game.
This is Jennifer Marion at Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville, and now's the time to drive away in luxury.
That's right, Jennifer. The $7,500 tax credit ends this month. It's your last month to take advantage of this incredible opportunity.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, drive the all-new electric Optique, Lyric, and Vistique. They are all in stock and ready to drive today.
See all of our inventory at Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.com or visit us on Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist is now offering ortho walk-in appointments. If you have an immediate need for orthopedic care, contact Southeast Orthopedic Specialist immediately. Avoid ERs and urgent care waiting rooms. For more information, go to se-ortho.com.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Join Jim Furyk and other legends of the PGA Tour for the Constellation Furyk and Friends, presented by Circle K, October 3rd through 5th at Timuquana Country Club. Catch the new community concert series on the 17th hole after play, featuring country artists Low Cash and Love and Theft. Public parking is free with complimentary tournament access for military, courtesy of ViStar Credit Union. Get tickets now for the Constellation Furyk and Friends, presented by Circle K, starting at just $25 at Ticketmaster.
Transmission troubles? I'm Robin Sidbury, owner of Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. So come in and see how we can help solve your transmission troubles. We service all makes and models. Remember, get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. When mice and rats show up in your home or business, they can be a real pain. You need them out fast, before they have time to multiply. Terminix knows how to shut down rodents and will keep them from coming back to wreak more havoc. When rodents show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a rodent problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online just like I did. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com.
Ticket here for Action Garage Door. Nothing more frustrating than your garage door misfiring. When it does, I call Action Garage Door. They take action. Jeff and Art and crew, Jacksonville folks, not some big out-of-town chain. Something goes wrong with your garage door, take action. Check them out. Garage Door 911. GarageDoor911.com.
PRI Productions is the official game day production partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hi, I'm Randy Goodwin, president and owner of PRI Productions. Chances are, if you've been in Jacksonville over the last 30 years, you've seen our work, from corporate and social events to concert production and much more. We have the equipment and expertise to make your next event memorable. So call the experts at the Jaguars Call. PRI Productions, bringing your ideas to life.
Football season is here, and the Hills Grill at Hidden Hills Golf Club invites you to enjoy our tailgate menus and drink specials every Saturday and Sunday. Join us after your round and cheer on your favorite team. That's Hidden Hills Golf Club, Monument Road.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm." Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
What are you going to do? No football tonight, no football tomorrow night. Back at it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Maybe listen to some Neil Young. I just went surfing, trying to get clarification on Rudy Johnson. Haven't found anything in the mainstream media. TMZ Sports is saying something. I'm not going to trust anything that comes from that entity, so I'm going to leave this alone. But I'll tell you that the former SEC Player of the Year has gone at the age of 45, and it's just really sad. Gosh, man, 45 years of age. He's still got so much life ahead of him. I hate this for Rudy Johnson. Jacksonville 9th in pressures with 44, 6 sacks. Our buddy Daniel Griffiths had this earlier today, and it blew me away, Dylan. Absolutely blew me away. Out of the 44 pressures, 18 of them are not coming from the defensive line.
Wow, I would never guess that.
Well, we've seen Lloyd blitz.
Yeah.
We've seen Gardeck blitz. We've seen Dewey blitz.
Jordan Lewis, did he do it one time?
18 pressures from your back seven? Wow, Anthony Campanelli. And you know, who do we have on? We have Mark Duffner on, who spent the last 6 years in Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
Remember talking to him about how you cannot blitz Joe Burrow. He will kill you.
Yep.
Well, early on in the game, they did blitz him before he went out with the injury.
Yeah, and it just goes to show you, we always talk about the offense and how much coaching matters with the play caller and the quarterback. And we've seen how this rushing attack has changed. Same thing goes for the defensive side. I mean, basketball and baseball, I'm sure coaching matters. It's more individual, I assume. But football, man, a football coach can call so many plays throughout the course of a game that can change the game. Yeah. And that can determine if you are going to win or lose that game. Like baseball coaches, if you change the lineup, how much is it really going to matter?
Yep.
You know, if you put Aaron Judge at the 2-hole or the 4-hole, basketball, you know, you're going to change the lineup here and there, but most of the time your best players are going to play. Football, your coaches make plays or they call plays all throughout the game to where it changes the course of the game.
We'll find out tomorrow. I'll be over at the Miller Electric Center as to whether or not there are any additional injuries. You know, everyone waiting on Brown, the left shoulder, and that'll be obviously a huge situation on Wednesday. But we'll see if anything else. You know, they didn't play Buster Brown. They only played Jarian Jones twice. The situation now, 2 games out of the last 3, 2 in a row, and 2 out of the first 3, you've actually had more defensive snaps for Travis Hunter than you have offensive snaps, which is surprising. But again, I think it's fluid. And with Brown being nicked up, I just on the surface here, I would think you get more of Travis Hunter this week on offense, especially if Brown and Jones are ready to contribute. The drop balls is bizarre because it's so subjective. I mean, Pro Football Focus says Jacksonville's dropped 13 footballs. Pro Football Reference says they've dropped 9 footballs. Is it Warren Sharp? Is that the
athletic guy?
He's a math guy, and he's got his own grading system, his own data. I read the first sentence. I was like, well, that doesn't sound right. He says since 2020, there's been 270 qualifying quarterbacks since 2020. That just seems, first of all, like, I mean, if you would ask me how many qualifying quarterbacks since 2020, I would have said 150 maybe. I mean, 270. Anyway, this is Warren Sharp. Since 2020, 270 qualified quarterbacks. Qualifying quarterbacks. Trevor's number 1 in drop rate. Okay? Also, the receivers are number 1 in total receiver error. 32% of Lawrence's incompletions this year are on his wide receivers. That is haunting. There was no indication of this outside of Brian Thomas Jr., although, remember when I posted the Hunter drop? Man, that's like the most reaction I've ever got, ever, on social media. People, Ballou just hates the Jaguars. You know, he posted a picture of Travis Hunter dropping the ball at the Miller Electric. I'm like, bro, I've also posted like every day of him making grabs. When it's a good play, people don't seem to care. But when it's a bad play, you know, people freak out about it. But Washington caught everything in camp. Strange caught everything in camp. The running backs out of the backfield outside of Tank Bigsby, who we know has feet for hands, caught everything. And Travis Hunter had a real good camp. Caught just about every ball thrown his way outside of the one that I threw out there on social media. This has to change. Jacksonville right now, they have no one else to blame but themselves. They dropped the football. They crush themselves offensively with penalties. And when will you eliminate the weekly dumb play by your quarterback? Okay? We're not going to run from the truth here. He does it every single week. You can't do that in San Francisco. You can't make a bad decision like Trevor's done in 3 consecutive games. You have to eliminate that if this team is going to be able to pull off the win against the 49ers. All right, we got much more to do. Let's see. Oh, my goodness, the text line's on fire tonight. 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Becoming more and more of a fan on YouTube because these guys get after it. And I think most are enjoying cocktails on YouTube at 1010XL into the night. All right, we got plenty to do over the next hour and 15 minutes. It's great to have you with us. This is Into the Night.
Looking out over that Golden Gate Bridge.
It's a gold rush to the Golden Gate. Duval Pride takes a long ride to the Golden State. Let's go! Jaguars, 49ers. It's a make-a-statement kind of game. Sunday at 4 on the home of the Jaguars. 1010 XL.
Frank Frangie here. Experience professional grade at Nimnick Buick GMC, home of the largest inventory of GMC Sierras in Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. This month, save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierra 1500s or enjoy rates as low as 0% APR financing. Yes, 0%. You can't find deals like this anywhere else in Jacksonville. So shop 24/7 online at NimnickBuickGMC.com or at the showroom on Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. You're on-road, you're off-road, now you're on the water. Greg, tell everybody what Coach and Honda is offering in the form of boats.
We've got the Honda boat, which is a great runabout fisherman. We've got the Coach boats. They're fantastic for getting out with a family. Nice lay-down beds, all with that legendary Honda motor on them.
Check them all out. They're waiting for you. You can see how you can be on the water with Honda or with Coach pontoon boats. Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency.
Frank Frangie here for Coyle & Sons Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports moments. Remember the 2017 AFC Championship game when Miles Jack wasn't down? You know what else isn't down? Fences installed by Coyle. Their fences have been standing tall here in Jacksonville for nearly a century. Since 1927, Coyle has been the fencing leader in Northeast Florida. If you're in the market for a new fence, I recommend calling Coyle & Sons today at 904-356-4821, CoyleJacks.com. That's C-O-Y-L-E Jacks.com. Coyle Fencing, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm Max Fink, and I'm your Gator Updater. Listen for the Gator Report several times a week on 1010 XL.
Freshened up by San Jose Collision on the home of the Florida Gators. 1010 XL.
Go, Gators! Get ready, poker players. The World Poker Tour is coming back to Best Bet Jacksonville from October 30th through November 18th. It's your chance to become a World Poker Tour champion with 14 different poker tournaments to play, including the Best Bet Scramble, a $5,000 no-limit hold'em main event with a $1 million guarantee. Satellites and mega satellites are going on now at Best Bet Jacksonville. For the full WPT schedule and more information, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, Director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick. We're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, it only costs for the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by November 6th.
Universal Roof and Contracting presents the Offensive Player of the Game. Universal Roof and Contracting. The difference is universal.
Britton Strange made the most of his opportunities on Sunday. The teal and black tight end recorded 61 yards on 6 receptions, averaging 10 yards per catch. Strange pulled the strings to lead Jacksonville to a much-needed victory and is your Universal Roof and Contracting Offensive Player of the Game.
Homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through September 30th. Financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting, protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
Clean air, cool air, both are extremely important. Trust Florida Home AC to deliver on both with their Remy Halo, the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and breathe clean and cool air.
1010XL, presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farrah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Stable, some Florida State talk coming up at 7 o'clock in Virginia. Chandler Morris, guy's been to 4 colleges, man. I think he was OU, TCU, North Texas, and now at Virginia, completing 71% of his passes. It's a high-octane offense. This could be, first one to 35 on Friday night. And for Florida State, it's all about not looking ahead to Miami, who will certainly enjoy the bye. YouTube. Where was it here? 1010XL into the night. Man, look at all these coming in on YouTube. This is insane. Where was the one that I wanted to read because I thought it was an interesting point? But they just keep rolling in and rolling in and rolling in. Mr. Know-It-All says, Rick Ballou said Trevor makes a dumb mistake every week. Whereas you don't know football clowns. It's true. I don't want to say it. But I'm not going to ignore it. I mean, it happens. Heck, you can go back to the Friday night scrimmage where 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 75,000 of you were there. When he threw the dumb interception in the scrimmage. I mean, you can't do it. He owns it. He's not afraid to talk about it. He said, last week he was greedy. But you want to play consistent football that is not filled with mistakes. And, brother, that is all over the place. 26 penalties in 3 games. Accepted penalties. I mean, you had the 5 illegal motions declined in Cincinnati. You had a couple of penalties declined again 2 days ago. And it's got to drive Liam Cohen absolutely insane because these guys work on it. I think it's a very complex offense. I think it's going to take quite some time for everyone to really figure this thing out. And, hopefully this is all part of the growing pains. And that, later in the year it gets better. Next year you add on more, it gets better. And you have some consistency. You have a head coach who calls plays. The last thing you want is to hear what came out of Tennessee today where Brian Callahan gave up his play calling. No. You want Liam Cohen to call plays here for the next 10 years with Trevor Lawrence. That's your best chance. Trevor's made some really good plays. We talked about it yesterday. His ability, he had a Baker Mayfield moment on that final drive. He didn't slide. He didn't try to run out of bounds. And that's kind of what you want with Trevor because he's missed 8 games in the last 2 years, now going into year 3. But he went and took the hit and picked up a huge first down. And then, later in the drive, completed that ball to Brian Thomas Jr. But that's some of these that he makes, you're just like, what? Why? Why? And you can go back to the one in Cincinnati. Hendrickson blew right by Walker Little. And he was in the face of Trevor Lawrence. Never should have thrown that ball. Walker Little. Ugh. The offensive line's doing well. They really are. You look at the grades. Pro Football Focus, take what you want. But Walker Little's allowed 12 pressures in the last 2 Sundays. Now, he's been going up against beasts in Hendrickson and Will Anderson Jr. But on the other side, Anton Harrison draws them as well. Harrison's really playing some good football. But if you look at the top-rated offensive players according to Pro Football Focus, do you realize, Dylan, that the Jaguars only had 1 player who rated higher than 67% in that victory? That was Brenton Strange at 86.2. And then it was Lawrence at 66.7, Anton 63.6, Hainsey 63.2, and Travis Hunter at 62.8. Unfortunately for Walker Little, he was a 42.8. Oof. So, all right, people every day say you got to do something with Little. You got to do something with Little. He's on a contract. I don't know what they're going to do. You just can't find left tackles. Their left tackle may be on this roster. Maybe Wyatt Milam, although I, tend to believe that I think he's more of a a guard, but who knows? But that, I won't even mention it because we're headed towards week 4, but all of a sudden you look at things and yeah, you're going to have to every single year address the offensive line very early in the draft. We know no first-round pick coming up this year. All right, more of your stuff on the other side. 641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Also on YouTube tonight, just go to 1010XL into the night.
A great drive takes more than a set of wheels.
Fully loaded, I think is the term.
Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville brings you the drive of the game.
Just one thing. Yeah. Don't push any of the buttons on that car.
On 1010XL.
Hacker here. And this past week during the 5th quarter, I had a listener come up to me and say that my story about Awaken 180 weight loss, my journey with Awaken 180 weight loss, had inspired them. And they made the call to Awaken 180 weight loss. They were beginning the program that they hoped would change their life, much as it has changed mine. Awaken 180 weight loss has changed my life for the positive. And I love that I can tell people about Awaken 180 if you need to lose weight like I certainly needed to. And if my story inspires you to make the call, it'll be the best call you will ever make. It's the best weight loss program I've ever been on. The coaching you get, the guidance you get is absolutely spectacular. Take it from somebody that lost over 100 pounds on Awaken 180 weight loss. If it's time for you to regain control of your life, go to awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800. Guys, if I can do it, you can do it. Awaken 180 weight loss.
Ballou here for Smoonez Vision. Why Smoonez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smoonez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smoonez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smoonez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmoonezVision.com today. Here you can see.
This Day in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On September 23, 1988, Hall of Fame quarterback Joe Montana missed his first start for the San Francisco 49ers after 49 consecutive starts.
Hey, First Coast, it's your boy Leon Searcy, your lemon pepper guy. Back and better than ever for Wingstop. You know I can't resist those crispy, flavorful wings that make your taste buds dance. Wingstop just opened a hot new spot on Jeremiah Street in Middleborough. There's 17 locations now serving up the most mouth-watering wings in town. And my all-time favorite, lemon pepper. Try their new quick and easy ordering on the app and swing by today for fresh, hot wings made for you. Only at Wingstop.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Elbow pain, whether acute or chronic, can make it difficult to do normal activities like playing sports, doing household chores, or even sleeping comfortably. Dr. George Barr here, and no one wants to deal with pain without solutions on how to feel better. We've all heard of tennis and golfer's elbow, but there's plenty more that can cause pain, like osteoarthritis, muscle tears, and nerve entrapment. All are treatable at Barr Orthopedics. Getting you back to full health is our mission, and there's a number of different treatment options we can offer. Call us today or visit barrorthopedics.com.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
How'd you get your money so quick?
Hard Rock Bet's got lightning fast withdrawals.
Almost as fast as Dale Jr. valeting cars at this party.
Man, he's fast.
Hard Rock Bet's fast withdrawals have given me new motivation. Tips are appreciated.
Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New players bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Payable in bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 and up and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Jeff Lagerman for Napa Auto Care Centers. This football season, make sure your ride can get to that tailgate or travel to the away game safely and dependably. You can trust the AFC certified professionals at any one of the 29 independently owned Napa Auto Care Centers and the quality Napa parts they use. Napa Auto Care Centers can handle everything: oil changes, air conditioning, brakes, engines, transmissions. Napa Auto Care Centers offers a nationwide 24-month, 24,000-mile peace of mind warranty on most repairs. Find one near you at JacksNapaAutoCareGroup.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
It's more of the Jaguars coming up in just a couple of minutes. Let's switch our gears, though, get to some college football. God's Country, Saturday afternoon, all Florida State, 66-10. 498 yards rushing. It is the most ever in school history. But the attention turns to Friday night. Can they win in Charlottesville, Virginia? Now, Lawrence Stample, he is our Florida State analyst, and he is a business owner right here in Duval. Niall, I know you made the trip this weekend. Thoughts on another dominant effort against a subpar team, but we've seen big-time programs over the years play to the level of competition.
Agreed, and they struggle, especially when it comes to the little things when it comes to these games. So I was happy with what I saw. There was definitely some stuff to clean up that I think we could have done a little bit better at, but it's all things that we can fix in the film room. So let's get those things fixed and squared away. But I was happy with the effort that we saw, and it was a great showing.
Micah Danzy, what's going on here now? I mean, what a weapon he has already been, but what could be moving forward.
Yeah, and what's the most interesting part about Micah Danzy is that it doesn't always translate, right? Being a track star doesn't always kind of correlate to being like an elite wide receiver. And it's really cool to see because Gus has been able to get him in some opportunities for him to really be able to use his speed. But the catch that he had during Kent State has really kind of changed his trajectory as far as when it comes to being an elite receiver in this league. I think there's an opportunity there, though it was Kent State. I think it was still a really good catch contested that we could hopefully see some more going on into the future with.
Yeah, Florida State's had some world-class guys over the years. I can go back to Philip Riley in the mid-'90s, but they didn't make plays like we saw here with Danzy. And, we've seen him on the reverses. That's something that you get week to week, the 64-yard touchdown run, Niall, but receptions of 65 yards and 47 yards using his athleticism, his speed, and also his ups.
Yeah, it's crazy. So when you're watching this Alabama game, so he had this reverse and he came over and it looked like a lot of the Alabama players got kind of dogged for loafing and whatever, but there was a few players that were close. When you're playing defense, it's all about reactions. You are not making real conscious decisions. Your body does it on purpose, right? Because you've been practicing it over and over. Micah Danzy's speed was so fast that the players felt close, but they never triggered. Their bodies never triggered to actually hit him because he was moving so quickly. It is a really crazy speed that we're seeing out of this guy. I'm excited for Gus to be able to play with him and be able to have some opportunities to get him in space.
I think the only, not concern, but what you're looking for right now is they haven't had an opportunity because they've been so dominant in these last two games to really consistently go to their playmakers. It seemed like they really wanted to showcase Gavin Sawchuk on Saturday, that he is the premier back with Roydale Williams, out, and we'll see if he's able to go coming up on Friday night. What do you make? Again, you look at their leading rushers, it's Danzy. Then it's Castellanos. And then it's, your fifth string back here out of Fleming Island in Singleton. It's not the top three running backs that most rosters across the country have as their leading rusher.
So one thing, and obviously, I think one thing that you're going to see a little bit more of is that situation. So if we're coming into the season and we have a couple teams that aren't really great, we want to try to get our young guys up. We have guys in the stable that have consistent playing time at big universities. There's really no reason to show and have them be in a situation of getting injuries or anything like that, since they've already proven themselves. The lights are not too bright, and it's been shown. So if the lights aren't too bright, let's get our young guys in there. Let's see who else we can help continue to stack this stable, because our guys are showing up when it comes to this Friday night game.
Now Lawrence Stample, our Florida State analyst, joining us. Florida State, a big winner against Kent State, 66-10. Ranked 8th in America, 3-0, but a big challenge coming up Friday night against Virginia. Where are you 3 games in with Gus Malzahn?
I love it. I love it. So it's crazy to think about that fact that Gus was kind of over it. Like, he was like, listen, I want to retire. I want to kind of push out and get out of this game. And due to the relationship that Norvell has with him at Memphis, he was able to call him up on a personal level, right? And say, hey, how about you just come and coordinate? Like, I don't need you to do all the extra stuff. I just need you to coordinate. And it seems like it made sense for him after kind of pondering on it for a little bit. So it's something that we've already talked about that I think is going to be more common, is seeing these coaches come in and these big coaches come in and be coordinators. But it was awesome for Norvell to be able to kind of pull back into a relationship that he had and be able to get such a huge asset for Florida State right now.
Tony White's defense, they haven't allowed a rushing touchdown all year. He had to address the UCLA rumors. He's a UCLA alum. What have you seen so far that you like with Tony White?
It's been, I think his game planning has been interesting. This last game against Kent State, he really didn't show any much looks. Like, we really ran a regular base front. Sometimes we ran a little bit of 3, but more or less we were in base. He didn't really want to show much. He really wanted to see what it was, at least in my perspective. He wanted to see what players can just be disciplined. Because it's hard to be disciplined when it comes to all the different variables and having his guys move around and showing these blitz and stunting and stuff, because there's so much going on. And he knows the ones can do it, but there's no reason to do that. Let's see if our guys that are coming in as backups can show their discipline and be able to get after it. Let's see if you can make plays on a regular base.
All right, a lot on the line here Friday night. They're basically a touchdown, maybe a touchdown in a hook favorite on a Friday night in Charlottesville. This is a very good offensive football team. So it's your first game away from home, and then you have they're staring at you, prime time, 7:30 at night, a week away, your huge rival Miami. Another mental test first for Florida State against Virginia.
Yeah, it's one thing that this team is it's so different, because last year was a lot of obviously hopes and dreams. We're hoping that things can work, But this year, when you have players like Deuce, when you have players like Thomas Castellanos, who's obviously been speaking from the beginning since the time he got here, when you have those type of players and you have these established Earl Littles, these leaders that kind of command from the top down, it is really difficult to say that we're not going to be ready, right? It's very difficult to think that. So when you have those on top of talent like Tony White and a Gus Malzahn, it's really hard to think that we're not going to be prepared. So I'm not really worried, though their offense does look good, though their defense has some elite stats that they've been putting up. I think that when it comes to the leadership and the foundation that we've been able to build so far, the climb is climbing.
Yeah. When you look at the schedule, they probably didn't circle this Friday night game at Virginia, but now that you get closer to it, Niall, undivided attention of college football fans across America, this is the only game that's on Friday night. So when you hear trap game and they're looking ahead, wouldn't that erase it?
Yeah, 100%. And it's funny because I keep hearing this trap game and the upset and all this other stuff and looking forward, looking ahead. It is really difficult to look ahead. It is possible, but it's very difficult. You have these coaches that it is their job to scout. When you come in, the scout team, the players that are scout team are the actual players that we are playing. Their names, we're using them. We get to know who they are. We get to know where they're from, everything about these players. It is all that we are breathing for that week. And it is the coaching staff's a job to make sure that it's happening. So when it comes to looking ahead and looking to the next thing, it is really unlikely. Sometimes when that does happen, the other team just came more ready and more prepared to play. But at the end of the day, when it comes to a big university like Florida State, there is no looking ahead. It is the game that is directly in front of you.
I was at Doak Campbell Stadium as well on Saturday, and Thomas Castellanos lips off the field. It really took the breath out of everyone who was there. Norvell said, did some things. You don't think it's a concern, but it wasn't he took every snap today. And I mean, it was bland, and that's fine. Norvell, you don't have to, you're going to have to come up with an injury report. Coming up here, it's the first conference game. So that'll be beginning tomorrow, I believe, or it may be Thursday in college football, since this is year one with the ACC. But trying to figure out what percent is Thomas Castellanos before this football game.
Yeah, and we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully it's nothing crazy, nothing too crazy, right? And as we kind of go into that, when we have a situation like that with Castellanos and he isn't as mobile, that still has to be something that we have to be able to push forward and work with. So I think Gus being able to see it, whatever it is, we are going to game plan in order to make sure that there's options on the table for him not to be as mobile if that's the case. But I think we'll be fine coming
Yeah, the one thing I wanted to see a little bit more of, I know we were talking before we went on air here, I wish Kevin Sperry got a little bit more burn on Saturday. He was 4 of 5 for 64 yards. So far on the season, 8 of 10 for 125 and 2 touchdowns. I think he's clearly the guy ahead of Brock Glenn. Now, we don't know if something happened to Castellanos. Would Norvell go with a veteran, a guy who has played before, both home and away, with Glenn as opposed to Sperry? But I would have liked to have seen a little bit more on Saturday.
Yeah, and I agree. I think he could have played a few more snaps. I like what I saw. I've liked what I have seen from Kevin, and it's really not the actual physical throws, it's the poise that he has, because the system that Gus puts in, there is a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of checks. There's a lot of things to be able to see, and in order for those plays to be able to be run to its maximum capacity. And I think that he runs them well. I think that he comes in and he feels confident. He looks confident. But when you have someone like Castellanos as your mentor, that's gonna bleed off, and that's gonna kind of spread to you. So I really like what I've seen with Kevin. I do think that is the front runner for Gus. I think Gus is looking for the future when it comes to that, and I think that we'll have a good showing if that were to be the case.
Florida State's been down 3 skill position starters. It feels like Randy Pittman, the tight end, and wide receiver Squirtle White will both be available Friday night for Virginia. Not sure yet on running back Roydell Williams, so you're getting some guys back.
Yeah, as well as Kevin Wynn. Yeah. Kevin Wynn is a guy coming back, and he's a big guy coming in to be a true freshman. Yep. They were raving about him in fall camp. I think he may be a real opportunity to get some good quality depth that can hold the anchor down in the middle. He is an anchor guy. He is more of a nose tackle type D tackle. And with this defense, when it comes to when it comes to being able to stop on the goal line and those different things, having someone like him to be able to anchor that is huge. So I love him being able to come back, and I hope that he can get a few snaps and get warmed up come Friday.
Virginia's Chandler Morris is very accurate, 71% so far throwing the football this year. Give us your opinion. What do you think happens Friday night?
I think we're going to come in ready to go. I think Norvell's hair has been on fire. I think that we have so many tangibles that will allow us to have a successful season, and I think that coming into this game, we are going to be more prepared. There's a lot of doubt as far as the fan base is concerned, just because there's been so much inconsistency. But I think that this team has so many tangibles that make so much sense. So we'll see what goes on, but they're going to have to prove and be able to push and prove it to everyone that they belong to be in the top 10.
No doubt. Florida State's our analyst, former Florida State Seminole, now Lawrence Stample, of course, won a national title with Florida State, also played defensive line with the Cleveland Browns, and he's a business owner, NLS Cleaning. Tell us what's the latest, what's going on.
Yeah, it is, as we're coming into the end of the summer, it's starting to cool down. People are starting to use their spaces. Restaurants are starting to use a lot more outdoor seating areas. So we're staying busy with that, just helping anyone they need to as far as pressure washing, gutter cleaning, and window cleaning. If you guys need anything, please let us know. The number is 904-708-8802. You can reach out to us on our website as well at nlscleaning.net. We would love to help any business owner, homeowner, renter, whatever it is. We're available.
Always good to see you.
Yeah, good seeing you, Rick.
Thank you. to Niall Lawrence Stample. All right, let's get to you. 641-1010 on the text line. Brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Also on YouTube tonight, those watching, 1010XL into the night. Much more to do. We'll take you up until 8 o'clock.
Post-game Monday is like digesting a huge day of football. Let's do this. Expert analysis of Sunday's game all day. It's not great. It's fantastic. Sink your teeth into Dandy Foods Post-game Monday. So delicious. On 1010XL.
Mike Dempsey for Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jacksonville Beach. If your roof's got any damage, if it leaks, if it's just old and ugly, call my friends at Apex Roofing. But Mike, roofs are so expensive. It's true, quality roofing is not cheap, but Apex Roofing has up to 100% financing available, so you don't have to compromise quality for budget. Apex Roofing, no shortcuts, no stress, just quality work with financing available. Reach for the peak with Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jacksonville Beach. ApexRoofingFL.com.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
Helmets and Heels calls on Jags former middle linebacker Tom McManus to elevate your afternoon.
He's the best. Guys got it all.
Catch the pros' point of view afternoons 2 to 4 on 1010XL. Fought for you by Green Law Group. For the injured, fighting for you.
As a contractor, finding reliable subcontractors is key to project success. Prosser here. Guys, that's where Lloyd's Heating and Air shines. Not just your mechanical HVAC expert, but your partner, understanding every facet of construction to keep your project on track. Lloyd's will spot issues early before they cause delays. If you're a contractor with a need for reliability, visit LloydsHeatingandAir.com. Lloyd's Heating and Air, keeping you comfortable in every season.
Hey, it's Angela and Brian Wall. How many companies do you know in this day and age that actually want their potential customers to call their competition and get quotes from them?
That's what WindoWorld wants you to do. WindoWorld knows there are other window companies out there, but we also know those other guys. When compared to WindoWorld, they can't offer you the quality at the price that WindoWorld can.
And with WindoWorld, you get the absolute best guarantee there is in the window replacement business.
If anything goes wrong with your new WindoWorld windows, 5 years from now, 10, 15, 50, WindoWorld and I will be there to fix it for you. You get peace of mind with WindoWorld, and to top it off, WindoWorld windows increase the value of your home. So look what you get with WindoWorld. Quality windows, low price, the best guarantee in the business, energy savings, and an increase in the value of your home. A win-win for you.
Call WindowWorld today and get your free in-home estimate, or see them online at windowworldneflorida.com.
WindowWorld, simply the best for less. Thank you for your business.
WindowWorld also offers energy-efficient doors.
Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. Whether it's a long day on your feet, a demanding workout, or everyday aches and pains, you need relief that can keep up when pain persists. Aleve is here for you with longer-lasting body pain relief compared to leading OTC-branded pain relievers. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
Huge savings on Dell AI PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors are here, and they're newly designed to help you do more faster. They can generate code, edit images, multitask without lag, draft emails, summarize documents, create live translations, and even extend your battery life. That's the power of Dell AI with Intel inside. Upgrade today by visiting Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The NFC West is basically a horror film. I'm going to call the San Francisco 49ers The Shining at 3-0. I'm going to go with the Arizona Cardinals with Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds at 2-1. Seattle at 2-1 is the original Friday the 13th. where the mother is the killer, not Jason Voorhees. Get it straight. Have you watched any of these yet, you young lad?
I've seen like maybe 2 of them. Not a lot of them. Not the original, I don't think. Come up for Friday the 13th.
So you haven't seen The Shining, The Birds, or just Birds, or the original Friday the 13th?
No, sir.
Okay. And we'll go with the Los Angeles Rams at 2-1. That would be The Exorcist. Have you seen The Exorcist yet, where Linda Blair turns her head 360 degrees and spews out green vomit?
No, sir.
Well, that's a can't miss one. It's a love story. You got yourself a date, curl up to that. That is a brutal division. And Jacksonville gets that division, as we do know. And that will begin this weekend with a trip to San Francisco. This is an offense that is not necessarily a juggernaut, right? Just under 20 points a game. 59 points, 49 points allowed. They're always really good on defense, but they're missing key players in both offense and defense. I was really surprised what happened last night, man. I mean, especially in the ditch. Detroit just pounded Baltimore. And how many teams over the years have gone 98 yards against the Ravens, especially at home? And what did they have, 7 sacks last night on Lamar Jackson? Something crazy like that. So Detroit, all of a sudden, a football team that is for real. All right, let's get to you on this. 4704 Blue. If Trayvon Walker, Devin Lloyd, Brenton Strange keep playing well, which is the most likely to be a cap casualty? I know it's early for us fans, but glad to. Well, Brenton Strange is in year 3 of a rookie contract, so he can play that out, and then you can decide what you want to do with him. Trayvon Walker, you're going to have to pay. Every game that goes by is making more money. He is. He has really turned into a complete pass rush end. And, we say earlier, he's him and, matter of fact, I see this out now. Again, whether it doesn't matter what the numbers are. They all of a sudden, and I don't feel like I ran into this problem over the last couple of years, but it feels like these numbers are now very subjective. Like, for instance, I just saw this. Pressures through 3 games. Jacksonville's edge is number 2 in the NFL. Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker have 31 pressures. Yet I was talking about something earlier with Gerald Ingram where they have 44 pressures and told that 18 of those have not come from the defensive line. So, again, you got stats.com, you got Pro Football Reference, you got Next Gen Stats. It's pretty crazy. I don't think Devin Lloyd comes back. I think he's going to outprice the market. We'll see. Yada, 54-34 Blue. Should Tootin get the ball, get the bulk of the carries over ETN? Tootin is better between the tackles, and the Jags don't lose the big playability. I think we've seen one run all year where Tootin hasn't been able to move the line. He is going to be special. He is the future. Liam Cohen used 2 backs really effectively a year ago. As a matter of fact, he used really 3 backs. He had a 3rd down back as well. But I think there will be a time fairly soon, depending on the flow of the game, where you'll see that Tootin does get more carries than ETN. Right now, ETN is clearly number 1. And again, we talked about this yesterday and today, but D'Amico Ryans was not going to let Jacksonville beat him on the ground. And they cheated with those 5-man fronts. Jacksonville made some adjustments and was able to run for 75 yards in the second half. 66-89. What were the amount of penalties Tampa had last year through 3 games? Have to go back and look at that. See if you can get an idea where Tampa was last year on penalties, though, if you don't mind, Dylan. That's an interesting question because 26 in 3 games accepted penalties is absolutely a concern. And, again, it's not for the lack of effort, man. The teaching is there. It's just taking a little bit of time. 1192. To the uneducated eye, it appears that all defenses are lining up 2 and 3 safeties deep, preventing us from even thinking about throwing the ball deep, or shouldn't that allow us to be able to run the ball? And the tight end should be able to have a field day, in just my opinion. Yeah, it makes sense. Absolutely it does. Jacksonville's got breakaway speed. When you think of Brown, Thomas, and Hunter, I don't know how many times I said during the offseason and during training camp that those guys are going to be able to score from anywhere on the football field. And every time they touch the ball, they are going to be able to score. Well, 3 games in, you don't have a touchdown by a wide receiver. You have a reverse that went for a touchdown for, Brian Thomas Jr. Let me see this one more time just to make sure I am correct. Diami Brown has 1. Okay, my bad. Brown has 1. Tootin has 1. Etienne has 1. Hunter Long has 1. So 2 backs, a tight end, 1 wide receiver. And in 3 games, you have 1 touchdown from Brown, Thomas Jr., Hunter, and Washington. And you're 2-1, and you're 1 awful call away from being 3-0. That stuff's going to improve. It's absolutely going to improve. So that is what is very cool about this football team, is that they have no one else to blame, especially on offense, than themselves. When you drop the ball the way that they do, when you false start and go through illegal motions the way that they do, and some very costly turnovers. But it's going to get better. At least you would think that it is going to get better.
Got an update on your penalties, by the way.
Go ahead. Yeah.
The Rams they led the league with the fewest penalties, 91 penalties. The Bucs had 108
in 17 games.
Yeah. And the Jags last year had 99. This is according to the football database.
All right.
So they were top 12 in fewest penalties.
1192 says, Blue, also I wanted to know if you wanted to ask forever to me, is that Uncle Dave on the Go Gator spot that you just played? That's not Uncle Dave Lamb, is it?
No.
That's some jacked up, juiced up fan from like the 80th row.
Max Fink does our Gator report.
Then he kind of, I know the spot. He goes, go Gators. The guy sounds like he's had about 21 Pabst Blue Ribbons.
Mm-hmm. Couple White Claws.
Now, David Lamb could do that now.
Yeah. I
can certainly tell you that there were a lot of times that Dave and I used to throw him back. 28-35. Do you play Tootin more? It depends on the situation of the game. If you look at snaps last week, they went to Allen Jr. more than Tootin. Why? Because Jacksonville threw it 40 times and ran it, 24 times. So Allen Jr. does a really good job in pass protect. They say Tootin does a really good job in pass protect. That's one of the reasons why Tank Bigsby's not here. And both rookies are complete backs. That is pretty cool. When you look at a 3rd round and a 7th round pick, the fact that they can run the ball, they can catch the ball. I mean, go back and look at Allen Jr.'s numbers at Syracuse. They're scary. And on top of that, they can certainly pass protect. So, I mean, the only issue for Tootin is, will he hold on to the football? I love this. 9404. Blue, what do you think about some 2-back sets? I love it. It was the 3rd highest position grouping that Liam Cohen used a year ago in Tampa Bay. Pony offense. You can take Allen Jr. absolutely and make him your lead blocker. Not necessarily fullback, tailback. I don't know. Shift him into the eye. Why not? Show something different. I think, that all depends upon the way things are. What's the total this weekend? It can't be that high with these two, really good defenses. Jacksonville's given up 17 a game. We just said that San Francisco's given
47.
Boy, that feels like an under to me. That feels like a huge, huge number to me. I bet that drops. We'll have the Philly Godfather on tomorrow night. We'll have Rafael Esparza on tomorrow night. But I bet that begins to dip, especially not knowing exactly who the quarterback is. Programming note, tomorrow night, 6 to 8. Thursday, 6 to 8. Fridays during high school football season, I'm on 4 to 6 on AM only. That is 1010. And I want to tell you something on 1010. We messed that up on 1010, 4 to 6. I mean, it's unlike anything you've ever heard before. With my attitude and my what have you, it's set only for nights. They allow me in the building business hours Friday, 4 to 6. Yes.
I was going to say Vegas is basically predicting a 25-22 game with San Fran winning. The line's now 3, not 3.5. On Hard Rock, that is.
Okay. I mean, you have IA now making predictions. I mean, you have all sorts of stuff. I don't know, man. I'm still going to trust the trends. The trends, to me, are the most important thing to look at. But, this is a long trip. This is a, change in time. So we don't know the philosophy yet of Liam Cohen. We'll check that out maybe tomorrow. He'll tell us. I mean, do you leave on Friday? Do you leave on Saturday afternoon? Okay, these West Coast trips, I can remember for years and years and years, it was different. There were times Gus wanted to do it this way. There were times that Doug Marrone wanted to do it that way. That includes London. I remember leaving from Cincinnati to London. We spent a week in London. And it was just way, 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 way too much, in my opinion. But you want to get used to things over here. Speaking of like a haunted house, there was a place called The Grove, man. It was just dark and cloudy and rainy and you can have London. I don't see it. I never have seen. I honestly, I've never have. I've never fully understood what is that, what is going on with the people and why they like that. 3371 asked, dude, Peyton Manning got the Austin Collie so many concussions since we cite him for accurate balls. Who do you want me to ask? Thanks for the question, but I don't understand who you want me to ask. You want me to call Peyton Manning and ask him why he got Austin Collie? Okay. I'm sure we could do that. 0981 Blue, what is your take on Liam Cohen calling a timeout 4th and 1 and keeping little? That whole thing was just, listen, it was a 39-yarder. He missed it. I mean, what did he hit? A 53-yarder, 52-yarder, and then you get a first down. You want to go for the 7 points. And he just hooked it. The timeout, whatever it was, they wanted to discuss it. Yeah, it's so easy now to, to criticize that call. And that's life on 4th down, right? Go for it, go for it, go for it. Why did they go for it? Dan Campbell got it last night. Harbaugh did not. Campbell, wow, man, what guts. But he knew his team was just the more physical football team against Baltimore on really both sides of the line of scrimmage a night ago. All right, much more to do. Good to have you with us. He's still in Denmark. My name is Rick Ballou.
Get more Gators
and more Prosser and Hickett. Unfiltered
football insight, analysis, and critique from your breakfast buddies on the Swamp Sessions podcast
from Voodoo Brewing Company.
Right after every game.
Streamed live on the 1010XL social channels.
Driven by Atlantic Infinity.
Expert Automotive on St. John's Bluff Road has some of the highest Google reviews in Jax for a reason. Expert Auto never sells greed, only what you need. All makes and models are serviced at Expert Automotive. This month, get an alignment inspection for only $19.99. Expert Auto does major engine and transmission repair and simple maintenance. All services done at Expert Auto by our ASC certified training technicians. Call today, 374-3373, and ask about $50 off any service. Expert Automotive. We never sell greed, only what you need.
Fall is here. The air is crisp. Football is on, and the perfect backyard atmosphere starts with a high-quality fireplace from CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Hey, it's Joe C. Imagine nights by the fire, cheering on your team, surrounded by friends and family. CSS can transform your outdoor space into the ultimate game day destination. Stylish, warm, and built for memories. With several wood, gas, and electric options, let CSS make your backyard the best seat in the house. Visit CSSFireplaces.com.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida, and don't let the state decide your fate.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $3,600 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more value at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Now the Performance Painting High Performance Play of the Game. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
With the game on the line and a shot to close it out, the teal and black defense wouldn't allow the chance to slip through their fingers. In the fourth quarter, Antonio Johnson would grab the game-winning interception from C.J. Stroud, giving Jacksonville a 17-10 victory with 27 seconds left in regulation. The Johnson interception is your Performance Painting Play of the Game.
Hi, folks. Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Ever wonder what to do with leftover paint that you don't want? Here's a few options. Paint can be placed in the regular trash if it's dry. Simply stir in kitty litter to a thick consistency. Then wait a few days with the lid off till it dries. Also, if the paint is good, there's many charities or churches that would love to have it. If you'd like more tips or have a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
PRI Productions is the official game day production partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hi, I'm Randy Goodwin, president and owner of PRI Productions. Chances are, if you've been in Jacksonville over the last 30 years, you've seen our work, from corporate and social events to concert production and much more. We have the equipment and expertise to make your next event memorable. So call the experts at the Jaguars Call. PRI Productions, bringing your ideas to life.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here. You've heard me talking about Pella Windows and Doors. With great ratings and expert reviews, you know they're high quality and energy efficient products. So what's your next step? Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or just stop by the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway. Their professional design consultants will guide you through your entire project from start to finish. And that's the quality and service you can expect from Pella Windows and Doors.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The Southeastern Conference just dropped future schedules as they get set to move to 9 conference games for the Gators next year. South Carolina, Georgia. This says in Atlanta. Oh, in Atlanta? Why? Because of the stadium, I guess.
Yes, sir.
But I think the Jags are still playing here next year. I thought it was 2027 when they go to Orlando. We'll see. Kentucky, Ole Miss, Vanderbilt, Oklahoma. The Kentucky game is on the road. Mississippi, Vanderbilt, and Oklahoma at home. And then at Auburn, Missouri, and Texas. Your thoughts?
I like it. It is not brutal. At least it doesn't look like it right now. Florida will host its first ever regular season game against Oklahoma. I hate that you don't play Tennessee at home until 2029, and you play Auburn again. I mean, with this new schedule outlet, you play at least one SEC team every other year, which I like. So you get rid of the rivalries, but you still play them every other year. 3
common opponents: South Carolina, Georgia, and Kentucky for Florida. That Georgia game is in Tampa in 27. All right. And you have home dates with Arkansas and LSU and A&M. You go on the road to Tennessee, Alabama, and Mississippi State. We'll leave it at that for right now. Let's see. At Oklahoma, Vanderbilt, and Ole Miss in 28. The Florida-Georgia game back here in Jacksonville. And then on the road at A&M, LSU, and Arkansas with a home date with Alabama in 2029. 0494. Boy, I think Hunter's lack of production has a lot to do with Brian Thomas Jr.'s struggles. In an ideal world, BTJ is playing like a number one. The defense will roll in coverage this way, which leaves Hunter one-on-one for the most part. When Brian gets out of his funk, Hunter's numbers will go up as well. Yeah, you know, I think you're making a good point here, but you know, he was only targeted twice on Sunday. We see here, he played 37 offensive snaps, 43 defensive snaps. That's 80 plays. He's played 213 snaps so far this year. I have him playing 121 on offense and 92 on defense. He was only targeted twice. So, you know, they threw the football 40 times. And, yeah, so that's a little bit scary to me. I mean, if you look at the Parker Washington situation, you hope is just a one-time bizarre story. Obviously, they were going to feature him because he was so good the week prior in Cincinnati when he was 5 for 5. But he was 4 of 11. You know, 4 receptions on 11 targets. It hasn't worked with Thomas, only 2 and 6. You know, 2 receptions, 6 attempts. And then, but you look at the others now. Strange. 6 receptions on 7 attempts. Long, 2 for 3. Brown, 2 for 3. Again, Hunter, 1 of 2. 1 for 1 for Patrick, the 16-yard catch. Allen, a 9-yarder, and Munt, 1 for 1 as well. So that's all 100%. ETN was 0 for 2 and Tootin 0 for 1. A big drop by ETN. Could be onto something here. I would guess that with Buster Brown and Jarian Jones, this becomes more of a week that Travis Hunter goes to offense. 90-67. We're ready for our kicker so far. Kickoffs and couple of misses. Does he had 2 misses? I thought he only had 1 miss. Cam Little, has it been 2?
I thought it was just 1.
Yeah, me too. We can check that out. But the kickoffs, now, you know, I said this yesterday. It was a bad day for special teams. I don't know if the snap, I've heard some concern about the snaps at home here against Houston, but it wasn't a good day for Logan Cook. And I think you can rewind the tape. I don't think I have ever said that about Logan Cook. He is always outstanding. Wasn't a great day. Obviously wasn't a great day for Cam Little. It feels like this new kickoff situation has created a little bit of funk for him. I also thought the return game was sketch. You know, he's a rookie, Allen Jr., but you can't take that ball out of the end zone. You know, just let the ball go by. And what is it, 35 or 40-yard line? I mean, these rules change all the time. I guess if it lands and rolls, it's the 35, but if it goes in it all the way, it's the 40. Am I right there? I mean, so many damn kicking rules, for crying out loud. Just kick off the way it used to be.
Rick, I was watching the game, and they were talking about that, and I lost track.
Yeah.
So if I have no idea, I know many fans have no idea.
You know, it's like listening to, like, you know, your mother-in-law. Right? I mean, when every time someone tries to explain to me what's going on with these new kick rules, I'm not interested. You know, as long as the refs know it and the and Frangie knows it and Speedo Ditas knows it, fine. I don't want to know it. It's stupid. Oh, Ballou, returns are up. They've ruined the game. They have. It's the most exciting. There's nothing exciting about today's kick returns. You pack the place. Everyone stands up. They got their phones out. They're taking pictures. They're cupping their mouth. They're yelling. They're screaming. It's the kickoff. And they They've just destroyed that aspect of the game. I think they're both going to be fine, but yeah, it feels like a little bit of it is mental at this point. 0543. Do you think the BS penalties, like the one in pass interference against Hunter, will change once the Jags get even more stamina? Yeah, I do. Here's what I think. And even though Cincinnati, I guess they're not a perennial playoff team. How many times have they made the playoffs in the last 5 years? Maybe twice, maybe 3 times. They're still considered a really good football team in a very difficult division. And you're at home in front of a pack. I think you're going to buy a call. I do. We're not seeing Jordan rules 2 games in for Travis Hunter when that call actually did take place. It was a very bad call. The rules are crystal clear. These are not college football rules. You don't have to turn your head around if you do not make contact with the wide receiver. Travis Hunter did make contact with the wide receiver, but he turned his head right as the ball came. It was a very bad call. And frankly, there were quite a few, but they're getting the reputation now as a penalized football team. Again, you have 26 accepted penalties in 3 games. That is way too much. You know, that's an average of what? 9. You can't go have 9 penalties, accepted penalties. You know, you've had offsettings and you've had declined where they'd be way over 30. Heck, they'd be heading towards 40. You're not going to win at San Francisco if you do that. This has to be a clean week of practice, man. And they, you know, that's a wine and cheese crowd out in San Francisco, right? They're not going to be all that loud. It's not like going into the old black hole.
It's right next to Silicon Valley.
Yeah, Santa Clara. I've been, yeah. Or like L.A., too. I mean, you don't have to worry about crowd noise there, right? They show up late, leave early. I mean, they serve like souffle and stuff in San Francisco. You know, like people are getting sushi. I mean, say what you want, but I don't think the crowd's going to be a factor. There was a factor in Cincinnati. Now, there's a good crowd. Those are some good fans. Hacker Nation will join you at 8. We still have much more to do here.
Frank Frangie here. Experience professional grade at Nimnick Buick GMC, home of the largest inventory of GMC Sierras in Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. This month, save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierra 1500s or enjoy rates as low as 0% APR financing. Yes, 0%. You can't find deals like this anywhere else in Jacksonville. So shop 24/7 online at NimnickBuickGMC.com or at the showroom on Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. Whether it's a long day on your feet, a demanding workout, or everyday aches and pains, you need relief that can keep up when pain persists. Aleve is here for you with longer-lasting body pain relief compared to leading OTC-branded pain relievers. With just 1 pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
Morgan Conley Roofing isn't just repairing roofs. He's building a legacy for generations to come. Born here, built here, staying here. MorganConleyRoofing.org. License number CCC 1333544.
It's Rick Ballou. If you're looking for a brand new truck right now, Crew Cab Ram trucks start at just $38,900 at Jacksonville Chrysler and Jeep Dodge Ram West Side. And every new retail purchase comes with the lifetime powertrain warranty and no extra costs. From tough Ram trucks to adventure-ready Jeeps, they've got the perfect ride waiting for you. So stop by Commonwealth Avenue or shop online at jaxwest.com. Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram West Side, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. With over 1,600 five-star Google reviews, it was a no-brainer to have Closets by Design help us get organized at home. They create custom storage solutions for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms and more. Closets by Design will transform clutter into seamless organization. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off with free installation. But only until September 30th. 18 months financing is available. Call 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. The online banking services are outstanding, so easy to use. Depositing checks through the mobile app is fast and efficient. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Credit Union in the Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards for 3 years running, and it's easy to see why. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
Hey, it's Rick Ballou. I just upgraded my home with fantastic floors, and the experience was incredible. Rusty and the team brought the showroom to me with their at-home consultation. The whole process was simple, the installation was top-notch, and the results absolutely fantastic. Take it from me. Don't wait. Visit fanfloors.com and schedule your at-home consultation today. Fantastic Floors, where every step is fantastic.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about letting things roll off of your back. So often we can make big deals out of things that are not really big deals. We can allow them to steal the joy of our day. But let me remind you that don't allow anyone or anything to steal the joy of today. Go out today not letting little things steal the big things that God has in store for you.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Hey, David again here with Royal Pet Services. It's that time of year when rodents start making their way into our homes. Layson, tell them what they need to get in.
A quarter-size hole.
That's right. That's all they need. Hey, tell them where to go for a free attic and exterior inspection.
Visit RoyalPetServices.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
Busy day in Oklahoma. Mike Gundy out after losing to Tulsa on Saturday. 21 years, 170-90 in his career. John Mateer, many believe the front runner for the Heisman, broke a bone in his right hand. Okay. Surgery. He's going to miss about a month. And finally, right here in the AFC South, what a day. Texans released safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Apparently, he couldn't pick up DeMeco Ryans' defense and was causing some problems on the team. So he's gone. And how about in Tennessee? Brian Callahan, 3 games in. Both these teams, as you know, Texans and the Titans are winless. But he gives up his play calling today. It's going to be Bo Hardigree, the quarterback's coach, is now going to call plays in Nashville.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Every Tuesday is an off day for the National Football League. That includes the Jaguars. I tell you what, today wasn't a slow news day.
No, there was a lot going on, and I got a lot of buddies in Nashville, and I've been listening to some podcasts. You want to talk about a dead man walking as far as NFL coaches go? Brian Callahan. Literally the reason he was hired was to call plays. Yep. And now he's giving up play calling. And if you watch that press conference today, it was kind of odd. They asked him, what did you think about your play calling? He said, I had no problem with my play calling. Translation, the owner or the GM said, you're giving up play calling. So that's like Billy Napier here. It's not if, but when Brian Callahan will ultimately be relieved of his duties. By the way, 3-17 is his record in 20 games as the coach of the Titans.
He may not survive the year. And there's quite a few coaches right now that all of a sudden, you got to look at things. Certainly in Miami. I mean, there's no doubt there. And I would have thought possibly the same thing with Carolina, but they had a 30-0 win against Atlanta yesterday or Sunday.
Good win for Carolina. Dable in New York is probably in trouble. Mm-hmm. I would say McDaniel, Miami, Dable, New York, Callahan in Tennessee, are the three that could happen before the season is actually over.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And, of course, the NFC West, I was talking about that a little bit earlier. You got San Francisco at 3-0, Arizona, Seattle, and the Los Angeles Rams all at 2-1.
Yeah, it's a really good division, but, boy, some brutal injuries. Arizona's lost James Conner for the year. San Francisco just lost Nick Bosa for the year. San Francisco also is without George Kittle. So when the Jaguars go out there on Sunday, no Kittle, no Bosa, probably no Jawan Jennings, no Brandon Ayuk. It'll be interesting. The Jaguars have won 4 games, I think, lifetime in the Pacific time zone.
Yeah.
They're 4-15 in 19 opportunities. So it's been hard to win out there, but you are playing a banged-up San Francisco team.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And I think, no one's made picks yet, and it's too early. But I think a lot of that comes down to who the quarterback is. If it's Purdy, the consistent, pick nationwide will be San Francisco. If it's Mac Jones, I think you'll see not overwhelming and maybe not even the majority, but at least some people picking the Jaguars.
And I went on a San Francisco podcast. I talked to a couple of 49er people earlier today as well. Mac Jones got a little banged up in that win over Arizona. So not only is Purdy coming back from a turf toe, Jones left with a knee and then came back. So do you want a 90% Brock Purdy or a 75% Mac Jones? I don't think either one of them is going to be 100% for the game. My guess is we see Purdy on Sunday against Jacksonville.
I want what the people want. I want a Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones matchup. I'm going to say that every day.
That'd be nice.
All right, what else is coming up tonight?
Yeah, we got Mike DeRocco, D-Rock from ESPN.com is going to join me. We'll do some Jaguar X's and O's with the coach, Mark Duffner, and Jesse Simonton's covered college football for years. We will talk about the epic disaster going on in Gainesville and who the next head coach will be at the University of Florida.
Interesting. Have a fun show.
Thanks, Rick.
It's going to do it for us tonight. Tomorrow I'll be at the Miller Electric Center, so we'll have fresh sound. We'll have everything on Brown as far as his injury. Hopefully there's nothing else that makes its way on the injury report. So that'll be tomorrow night. You also hear from John Osher. He'll join us tomorrow night. The Philly Godfather will join us tomorrow night. Programming note, again, with you tomorrow night and Thursday night, 6 to 8. Friday, 4 to 6 on AM only. That's 1010. Thank you.